Alright, good afternoon folks. We're here today to look at an example of domain and range because I know some of you are still having a little bit of trouble visualizing how to calculate the domain and the range of a function. So here's the function that we were given. Y equals x to the negative 4 plus 2x cubed minus 2x plus 1. And we're looking at going from negative 2 to positive 2. And notice that again, the round bracket here means the negative 2 is not included, and the square bracket is telling us that our positive 2 is included. Now what I've mentioned before is that it's really helpful if we can actually graph our function and kind of see a picture of what's going on. So let's have a look at that. So let's have a look at what this would look like on our CAS calculator. I've opened up a graphs page and I've entered in negative x to the 4 plus 2x cubed minus 2x plus 1. Now I want my restricted domain here. So we go control and then equals. I want to get to that vertical line. And we are going from negative 2. Negative 2 is not included, so negative 2 less than x and less than or equal to 2. Press enter, and there is our graph. So there's a picture of what our graph looks like. And from this, it should be fairly clear where the maximum and the minimum value are. The maximum, so the highest point that the graph gets to, is going to be right up here. And the minimum is going to be somewhere down here where the graph ends. So this is what I've spoken to before. The max and the min will always occur either at a turning point or at an end point. So all we need to do here is we need to figure out the value of the function at this endpoint here, and the value of the function at this turning point to get our min and our max for the range. We'll start with our minimum, and this one we can figure out by hand. We know that the minimum of the graph has to occur at this endpoint down here, which, if you'll recall, is when x is negative 2. So we just need to substitute in negative 2 and solve to figure out our associated y value. So I've got negative 2 to the 4 plus 2 times negative 2 to the 3 minus 2 times negative 2 plus 1. Negative 16 minus 16 plus 4 plus 1 gives me negative 27. So the minimum value of this graph here is at negative 27. And we have to decide now, is negative 27 included? I'll let you think about that for a moment. No, negative 27 is not included because we calculated negative 7 with our x value being negative 2. And negative 2 was not in the domain of the function, so negative 27 is not going to be included in the range. Calculating our maximum value isn't something that we know how to do by hand because we haven't figured out how to algebraically determine what this point is here, what that maximum is. But we do know how to do this on the CAS. So from here, we go to menu. We're analyzing our graph, which is number 6, and we are finding a maximum value, 3. We need to scroll this dotted line somewhere to the left of our maximum, doesn't really matter too much where. And then we want to move to the right of our maximum. And our calculator is telling us that this point here, negative 0.5, 1.69, is the maximum value of that turning point. So 1.69 is our maximum. So our maximum value is 1.69. 1.69. And that occurs at this turning point up here. And 1.69, that is going to be included in the range, because that turning point is part of the domain. It's part of the graph. So our range for this function, it goes from a non-included minimum of -27 all the way up to an included maximum of 1.69.